10 years ago, my wife and I noticed my drooping eyelid. Concerned, I made an appointment with a surgeon with the plan to have surgery to raise my eyelid. The surgeon started by placing an ice cube on my eyelid. Surgery was not an option. Eyelid ptosis indicated I had early onset Myasthenia gravis. I went to an ophthalmologist who confirmed my having early-stage Myasthenia gravis, and he expressed the hope that my Myasthenia gravis symptoms would be limited to my eyelid, with a 20% chance of it developing further. The next morning, I woke up with double vision and with generalized, my term, total body Myasthenia gravis. Now what do? Beginning at the beginning. At 85 years of age, senior health has long been a priority. Death is not my concern. Living well and feeling well while alive is. Individuals must assume the primary responsibility for managing their own health. That is, as opposed to one's continuing to do what they have been doing, good or bad, right or wrong, while passing on the responsibility for the management of one's health to the medical community. My being very conscientious regarding managing senior health and aging issues and answers, and having experienced most of the Myasthenia gravis issues, I have focused on all solutions: medical, neurologists, medical prescriptions, YouTube, and homeopathic solutions. I started with developing a Myasthenia gravis management plan by starting with the basics, the most common recommended solutions, trial and error, upgrading, filtering, and occasionally rejecting. My Myasthenia gravis management plan and remission path started with a visit to a neurologist. First the words pyridostigmine, then mestinon, then prednisone came into my Myasthenia gravis life, with the understanding I would be shackled to prednisone for life, with possible prescription side effects of abdominal cramps, diarrhea, nausea, increased salivation, muscle cramps, weight gain, hypertension, osteoporosis, diabetes, mood change, increased risk of infections, liver toxicity, headaches, and cancer. My neurologist recommended I seek and use the services of a dermatologist because a prednisone side effect can be cancer. Never wanting to hear from any doctor, if you had only come to me sooner, I immediately went to my dermatologist. The dermatologist detected a malignant melanoma, and it was surgically removed. I visit the dermatologist every 6 months, and I am cancer-free, skin-checking, vigilant. Nice, encouraging, heartwarming start. Myasthenia gravis symptoms, for the most part, calmed down. No drooping eyelid, no more double vision, no more frazzled nerves, and modest improvement in strength. A sense of constant, variable, vibrating jello-like internal trembling, a quicksand-like ebb and flow of symptoms, with the seemingly constant reminder that I have a serious and rare neurological disorder that will lead to a limited and probably continuously deteriorating lifestyle. If not handled continuously and correctly, could lead to death. Limited lifestyle? Death? I hated the thoughts of a limited lifestyle, possibly early death, and a lifetime of prescription pills, most of which have side effects that are worse than, far worse than, the health issues you are trying to solve. Besides, I have always had trouble limiting my Myasthenia gravis symptom solution thoughts as dictated and promoted by the medical world, doctors, and homeopathic health practitioners, if none of them know the root cause. The primary root cause question is, how can one blindly and exclusively embrace, endorse, and adopt a medical solution if it cannot be linked to the root cause? It makes little sense to me. The first line of defense must be me. A year into myasthenia gravis, I sensed a real or imagined myasthenia gravis lowering of my myasthenia gravis symptoms, and I wanted to seize on the opportunity for this to be the beginning and ending of managing myasthenia gravis remission, hopefully 100%. Sensing my myasthenia gravis symptoms were in initial stages and hopefully continuous stages of advancing to full remission, not wanting to take cancer side effect risks. Are you kidding me? Prednisone for the rest of my life? I decided to take a chance of serious relapse with the hope of myasthenia gravis remission rather than a myasthenia gravis lifetime sentence. I decided not to consult my doctors, to take matters into my own hands, to slowly taper my prednisone dosage. Seemingly crazed, I felt the urgent need to stop my prednisone dosage, then to find my own crazy myasthenia gravis homeopathic remedies and solutions. As a sidebar, I would like to set the tone, the foundation, and guidance for my myasthenia gravis management plan and path to remission by referring to a YouTube video headline I observed years ago. You're not old, you're depleted. Old is aging over which we have no control, and depleted refers to our chosen behaviors as we age. Exercise, types, levels, and frequency, food, choices, nourishing or processed, sleep, quality, frequency, and duration, and weight, under, normal, or over. It is the choices we make and the governance of each that determines how well we age and the lifestyle we enjoy as we age. Let me be clear. Rather than state I have 100% myasthenia gravis remission, it would be better, more accurate, and better stated that myasthenia gravis and its symptoms are always lurking in the shadows and can raise its ugly head in an instant. It's a question of to what degree is myasthenia gravis in remission, and for how long is myasthenia gravis in remission, while always having a sense and awareness that it's subliminally there and that I need to gather myself to quell the attack. Though my homeopathic myasthenia gravis management plan and execution has been and is effective, on occasion, rare occasion, I experience a very light reoccurrence of myasthenia gravis symptoms, slight eye ptosis, and some difficulty raising my cancer-caused prednisone malignant melanoma muscle excision left arm. My myasthenia gravis alert is that I feel a slight seismic gathering of, an undercurrent of, muscle weakness, minimal eye ptosis, and nerve sensitivity to remind me my myasthenia gravis is still around and will always be around. My myasthenia gravis management solution has always been to calmly gather myself to lay down and to rest for a few minutes, and, if necessary, to take a single 120 milligram dose of pyridostigmine twice in 4 years, or a double dose divided into 2 single doses of quick-acting pyridostigmine once in 10 years, and then to move back to normalcy, never taking slow-acting, cancer-causing prednisone. That said, I would like to say that I feel like I am in a 100% Myasthenia Gravis remission lifestyle most of the time. Life's number one nutrient. Without it, all health and lifestyle efforts are compromised. In my opinion, most exercise plans and executions are short-lived because the initial effort is too much, too soon, and too frequently, resulting in immediate pain, soreness, and abandonment. My key exercise design algorithm is to embrace, to enjoy, to relax, and to look forward to a new me, healthier lifestyle. A new no exceptions, wake up and start routine, rather than to dread a reluctant, painful, forced march exercise routine, soon to be infrequent, then seldom, and finally abandoned. My start low and slow, use it or lose it exercise goals are no excuses commitment to daily, few repetitions, little or no weight to start, and just going through the motions with arms and legs only. Let your body and brain suggest to you that you seem to be ready to do more repetitions, maybe just one more, and add a little weight, maybe just 3 pounds more. And rather than just going through the stretching band motions, start using actual stretching bands. And again, with my emphasis, let your body and brain suggest to you that you seem to be ready to do more repetitions, maybe just one more, and add a little weight, maybe just 3 pounds more. And rather than just going through the stretching band motions, start using actual stretching bands. And again, with emphasis, let my body and brain tell me when to upgrade. I started with using just my fingers to crawl up a wall. Then I added a few repetitions. I added no weight, weightlifting exercises. And I finally added a few light stretching bands exercises, all every day with no exceptions and with no repetition or weight goals in mind. All I know is that I feel like a whole Myasthenia Gravis free, normal person. For the first time in years, wow, I am on to something. The most important health life nutrient of all nutrients, without which all other solutions will be less helpful, completely fail to solve a health issue, or quite possibly bring on added health issues, is exercise. Exercise is the synergistic catalyst that binds and builds body and brain to achieve and maintain a lifestyle equilibrium. Exercising is my no exceptions, no compromising, no excuses, absolute number one golden life and living rule. Mobility as we age is the most important senior lifestyle issue. By choosing to be confined to a wheelchair, or by choosing to be confined to a walker, or by choosing to be liberated by walking, or better yet, stabilize and turbocharge your walking and upgrade to trekking poles. Walkers represent restricted, weekend, numb, old, head down, living in the past lifestyle. It's over, terminally stuck in the mud. A quick try, and I instantly knew a walker mobility life was not for me. At this time, trekking poles were gaining popularity for hiking, for speed walking, and the chosen mobility choice for seniors who preferred the simplicity, the stability, and the security of trekking poles over the confinement of a walker and the instability of a walking cane. Keeping in mind the best health advice I have ever had, while driving retired and driving a taxi for fun and to satisfy early morning boredom issues, a senior passenger once hobbled into my taxi, saw that I was a young senior, and he told me that what I religiously practiced daily and which I relate to others whenever I am given the opportunity. Whatever you do, don't lose your legs. I started daily trekking pole mobility walking without exception or imagined excuse, from the front door to the mailbox. After starting very short trekking pole walking and semi-hiking for a while, one day while walking to the mailbox, my mobility body and brain suggested, though my mood felt otherwise, that we try for the corner. Mission accomplished. Being patient, consistent, and taking my time, I now walk 2 to 4 miles every day with health, ease, optimism, and no pain. Can't remember any day I missed while seemingly preparing for the next Olympics. I knew then that trekking poles, mobility, walking was my health, happiness, freedom, and mobility future. No matter what your level of mobility is currently, if you can stand, great. Or if you're willing to patiently and consistently take your time to try to stand, and then build the strength to stand, you can walk. The starting mobility level is unimportant. The ending mobility level is. While noting the reason most start and stop mobility walking is that they see and adopt a mobility walking plan, start at too high of a level, do it once, and then stop the next day due to the next day's pain. Laziness, excuses, exceptions, inconsistency, and or uncommitted can also be your chosen mobility walking obstacles. In fact, your lifelong mobility walking obstacles. Static, in effect, just the usual. Let me think about it. Wash, rinse, recycle, repeat, and continue the endless, mindless, deteriorating life-living cycle again and again for life. Sugar, the devil's brew. Men should consume no more than 36 grams of sugar, 9 teaspoons per day. Women should consume no more than 25 grams of sugar, 6 teaspoons per day. The average American consumes approximately 17 teaspoons, about 71 to 85 grams of added sugar daily. I consume 5 grams of sugar daily, with very rare exceptions up to 20 grams per day. Advanced glycation end products, AGEs, are formed through a process very similar to caramelizing onions or sugar. Advanced glycation end products, AGEs, are harmful compounds formed when proteins, lipids, or nucleic acids bind with sugar, typically accelerated by high blood sugar, hyperglycemia, or heat-processed diets. They accumulate in tissues, causing inflammation, oxidative stress, and increased vascular stiffness, linking them strongly to diabetes, cardiovascular disease, aging, and neurodegeneration. Advanced glycation end products, AGEs, damage the body by triggering chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and structured tissue stiffening, resulting in premature aging, metabolic dysfunction, and cardiovascular disease. Key symptoms include accelerated skin aging, wrinkles, discoloration, cognitive decline, diseased mobility, stiffened blood vessels, and chronic metabolic diseases like diabetes. Nutrients and supplements. Now, are you sitting down? My first venture and original effort at Myasthenia Gravis Remission Independence. Symptom exorcism. Freedom from low or no energy. liberty from low or no muscle strength. I needed a smooth, more energy boost. Why not 5-hour energy extra strength? I immediately sensed and continue to sense more energy and more coordinated muscle strength, as I felt and continue to feel as if 5-hour energy extra strength was and is pulling my myasthenia gravis puzzle pieces together. Yes, I know all about the popular but unproven 5-hour energy extra strength trash talk. Check the ingredients. All are found in different supplements, and 5-hour energy extra strength ingredients are the right combination and dosage for me. There certainly makes a logical, impulsive, irresponsible, unintelligent sense when considering the gravity of myasthenia gravis symptoms. But it sure makes complete sense to me when considering the objective, because it works with no consequential side effects. Enough said. I took and continue to take one and only one 5-hour energy extra strength, the very first wake-up duty in the morning. I never miss. To complement and control my myasthenia gravis remission and management plan, I added my constantly reviewed, modified, added to, and deleted myasthenia gravis homeopathic medication arsenal. Magnesium. The myasthenia gravis exercise magnesium contraindication aggravation dilemma and alert, as recommended by the medical community, is to take little or preferably no exercise and little or preferably no magnesium, which could elevate myasthenia gravis symptoms, ranging from mild to life-threatening myasthenia gravis crisis hospitalization. Magnesium being an essential lifestyle critical mineral, and yet a myasthenia gravis symptom enemy, gives one reason to pause before taking magnesium. Facts. Magnesium is an essential vital mineral impacting over 300 body functions. Magnesium has a negative impact on myasthenia gravis by weakening muscles and by awakening and aggravating the nervous system. The myasthenia gravis magnesium interactions and contraindications necessitate a razor-sharp sensitivity to the impact magnesium has on myasthenia gravis symptoms and requires immediate adjustments to magnesium dosage, frequency, and duration. If I feel any myasthenia gravis jello-like nerves and muscles are loosey-goosey, I adjust my magnesium dosage and frequency until myasthenia gravis symptoms subside. Magnesium's primary overt benefit for me is that it stops cramping in its tracks almost instantly. Though the total daily magnesium dosage is less than the daily recommended dosage, I have no cramps, much better sleep, and a seemingly healthy lifestyle. To date, I have rare myasthenia gravis symptom issues. My supplement cabinet. Magnesium glycinate, 5-hour energy extra strength. Magnesium L-threonate. Pure brand encapsulations B complex. Pure brand encapsulations 1 multivitamin. Pure brand encapsulations trace minerals. Pure brand encapsulations L-lysine. Nutricost L-carnitine. Sports research, collagen peptides. Sports research, creatine monohydrate. Naked brand, Naked Whey Isolate. Pure brand encapsulations, turmeric curcumin. Pure brand encapsulations, EPA-DHA essentials. Sports research, D3 plus K2. Nutricost lycopene. I have 1 avocado with oil and vinegar each morning for better absorption of the 4 oil-based supplements. I constantly look for, search for, add, modify, and delete Myasthenia Gravis remission medications, 100% homeopathic. Sidebar: buy the best supplements, usually the most expensive supplements, but pure, no fillers or junk or garbage added. Download and use SupCo Supplement Selection and Management app. Rest. I leave one very important discipline, which I have often compromised for last, for emphasis. Rest and relaxing, stress, rest. In the past, I mistakenly opted to continue with the false hope of working through myasthenia gravis symptoms. A mistake, a big mistake. It's laying down and resting for a few minutes, maybe only 5 minutes, to gather yourself. On occasion napping to pull my body and brain back together. By the way, get a good, consistent night's sleep. A primary myasthenia gravis symptom antidote. Have a good day, a prosperous myasthenia gravis, 90 to 100% symptom-free life. That's all, folks.